Hello everyone and welcome back to Jenna Voice. So I just want to say before I start this video, the last couple of videos I uploaded were kind of off pace. I recorded them before Thanksgiving, but I didn't get a chance to edit and upload them until after. So I think I made one sort of comment in the very last video, the one about the Met competition, in reference to when it was, saying it was just that past Saturday. Well, it was before Thanksgiving, so I apologize that things got a little off schedule with Thanksgiving, and then I traveled out of town last week for another audition, which is what today's video is going to be about, but we should be back on schedule now, at least for the next week and a half until I go home for Christmas. So I'm hoping to make a bunch of videos before then and get them uploaded so that you have a lot of content to watch over the break. But before I start my review video, I want to tell you guys a little short story, something that happened a few days ago. I had a young singer message me on Instagram of all places, which I think is kind of funny that she found me there because I don't list my Instagram on my YouTube page at all. I mean, if you find me there, that's fine. I check my messages often, so if you're a young singer who wants to contact me that way, that's fine. I just don't post a whole lot of stuff on my Instagram about music. A lot of it's honestly like pictures of food because I love food. But there's a little bit of music content there, so if you want to check it out, you totally can. Maybe I'll link it down below, so check it out if that interests you. But anyway, I had a young singer message me there who said she had watched some of my videos, particularly a few from La Musica Lyrica, a program I did last summer, because she was interested in possibly doing that program. And then she was also looking at the University of Utah as a possible school to attend, and she found me in both places, and so decided to message me, ask me some questions about the school and whatnot, which I thought was so awesome, because the whole reason I created this channel was to help younger singers, and for her to message me was just like, okay, I'm reaching someone, this is awesome, you know? I know that not a ton of people are watching this channel yet. I hope to see it grow a little bit, but you know, I have no idea how big or how small it will be. I don't need it to be massive, I just hope to reach people. That's my point and my goal. So the fact that she messaged me was really incredible, and funnily enough, it kind of happened that she was in town and we were both going to the same show that night. It was a Christmas show that the University of Utah puts on every year, and we both happened to be going to the same show on the same night, and she sent me a message saying, hey, I gotta run to a show that the U is putting on, and I said, it wouldn't happen to be a Mall in the Night Visitors and Christmas Carol, would it? And it was, and we were both there. She found my teacher, Robert Bro, and he led her to me. She was like, is she here? Do you know where she is? And so we had a conversation face to face, and I literally just sort of met her online through messaging a few hours previous, and it was just really funny how that worked out. So shout out to Natalie. I'm so glad that I got to meet you and your parents, and that we made a connection and were able to hopefully help each other. I got her introduced to at least one of the professors. I don't know how many she had already met, and she was visiting the school, which is why she was here. She was already touring a little bit and took a lesson, which is awesome. If you're looking at schools, that's definitely something you should be doing, is visiting in person and getting to know the voice department and their professors. I'm gonna make a whole separate video on schools, probably multiple videos. I have so much to say on those. But in the meantime, I just wanted to tell that little side story. I thought it was really cool. Maybe you don't think it's cool. Anyway, I met a person and I think I helped her, and I think that's awesome. So anyway, back to the review of my third audition. So this audition was in New York, the place where most auditions are. I finally got to go. I was really excited, especially because it was around the holiday season. That's a really fun time in New York. There's so many sights to see. I love going to look at the big storefront windows and see what they put up, the light shows, the lighting of the big tree at Rockefeller Center. We were there when that happened, but we didn't actually get to see it in person. We were really close, but the way they had the streets barricaded off, we were unfortunately not in eyesight of the tree, but still a really cool experience. And yeah, it's just fun to be there around the holidays. If you get that chance, definitely take the time to do some sightseeing. My mother and I went to the Metropolitan Opera. If you haven't been, you gotta go because it's an experience. We went to see the Magic Flute. I had never seen that opera before. The Met, what they did a condensed version. It's a very long opera. They cut it down to 2 hours. There was no intermission, and they did it in English. And I think the reason they did it in English was to bring in more of a younger audience, a lot of children who normally opera wouldn't quite connect with them, but by making it a shorter length of time, more about the length of a movie, and putting it in English, it's a very comical and more lighthearted opera. So it definitely is more suitable for younger audiences if they were to come see an opera. But it was so fun, so well done. The staging and the scenery and costumes are always so spectacular and like so next level, and almost like, how much money do they have? Like their budget is insane because the things they do on that stage are so cool. So I'm so glad we got to see an opera while we were there. But of course, the main reason for my visit was my audition, and this audition was at the National Opera Center, which I had never been to in my few visits to New York previously, so I was excited to check out that space. The National Opera Center is a building that was built, as you can probably guess, for opera singers. I don't remember what part of New York, what part of the city it's exactly in. I'll put a link down to their website so you can check it out more. But it's a really cool space that they created. It has a lot of rehearsal spaces that you can rent out, as well as rooms created specifically just for auditions, one of which I was using for this audition. It was a really acoustic, giving space. Just really great conditions to sing in. And they also have a couple of libraries with lots of resource text specifically just for opera and the voice, and it was a lot of fun, I just have to say. So yeah, I got there. My audition was around 2:15 in the afternoon on a Wednesday, and they had started earlier in the morning. I don't know how many hours they had been running it in the morning previously, but I was soon right after their lunch break, which I think was a good time to have an audition. I'm pretty sure they were also in New York for at least 3 or 4 days, so I was kind of at the beginning of their New York stint, but at a good time of the day for a run of auditions, I would say. You know, people are generally happier and more content after lunch, more relaxed. But yeah, that seemed to be a good time. And I did have a little bit of extra nerves for this audition, only because I know some of the people in the company, so that it adds an extra level, because when they know you and you know them, there's a little level of, I don't know if I want to say expectation. I just want to make sure I'm leaving a very good impression, and I hope that I did. When I came in, the artistic director was really friendly, came up to shake my hand, said hello, had a short conversation. You know, that is not very common, in my experience at least, with auditions, for people to just come up and shake your hand and say hello up close. You know, a lot of people will be sitting behind a desk and barely move, or will just take your resume really quickly. But they were very kind and friendly, and again, that may have been to the fact that they sort of knew me, but I think it's a great company in general, so I'm assuming they treated all of their auditionees or auditioners, all of the singers in a similar manner. So for this audition, I did something that I don't think I've ever done before. I started with an aria that I had just learned, as in I had never performed it for anything else before. And that's a risky choice, but I was really liking the aria. I'm loving it right now. It's Adieu Notre Petite Table from Manon by Massenet, and it's a new French aria for me. I've had a lot of problems, well, not problems. French just, it's not my most comfortable language, so it's been hard for me to find a French aria that I really love and feeling really connected with the character. And this was one where I'm just, it's really seeming to click. So I felt ready to do it, so I started with it. It went well. And then for the panel's choice, they chose Batti Batti from Don Giovanni, and that's always such a fun aria to sing. And it went well as well. So yeah, I had a very good experience singing for them. I hope I left a good impression, because none of them had heard me sing, but I kind of knew them, like I said, in other ways through the company. So yeah, I don't know when I'll hear back. I'm assuming spring maybe. But yeah, we shall see. But I'm grateful that I had the opportunity to sing for them, as well as just make a trip to New York. It's so much fun to go. There's so much to do and see every time you visit, and I actually also had a chance to visit with a couple of my friends from La Musica Lyrica that happened to be there at the same time. One of them actually does live in New York. She goes to the Manhattan School of Music, so I was glad to able to meet her, and another friend who I met in Italy and just happened to be there at the same time for the same audition too. Just crazy how that works out. Honestly, the music world is smaller and smaller every year, and the more people you meet, it's just funny how you keep bumping into people. You're like, oh yeah, I know you, or oh yeah, we just did that program last summer or a few years ago, you know. Things just kind of work out like that. So it was a really fun time. I am home now in Salt Lake for a couple of weeks, and then I go back to my hometown in Wisconsin for a few days before going back to New York, but upstate New York, for the Christmas holiday. And then I'll be back and hopefully can return to the swing of thing in videos. But I'm gonna, like I said, try to make as many videos as I can before I leave for that trip. And otherwise, I don't have any auditions in between that time. Kind of free and clear to enjoy the holidays as of right now for the next few weeks, and just kind of relax. So this was my third audition review. I hope you guys liked it. Give it a thumbs up if you do. Leave a comment down below if you've been to New York or want to go to New York, or have had any auditions in New York, and tell me about your experience there. So as always, please subscribe if you have not already, and I will talk to you all very soon. Bye.